If you plan on purchasing The Sims 4 Life and Death or any of the Sims 4 packs, you can use my code FANTAYZIA on the EA app or thesims.com. This does directly support me and my channel, so I really do appreciate those of you guys who use my code. Hey everyone, it's Fantayzia, so welcome to another Sims 4 discussion video. Today, we are going to be talking about something I've talked about before, but with the end of the year approaching and all the comments I just recently saw, I felt like we need to talk about it again, and hopefully it will push the Sims team to give this to us by 2025. So I recently asked you guys what you want to see for 2025, and I will be doing a whole video on that, but in the comments, I kept on seeing preteens more than I thought I would. I mean, that's something people have been wanting for a while now. I've talked about it time and time again. I feel like the more we talk about things, the more likely they are to happen. Like, look at what happened with Better Babies. And then they gave us a whole new life stage. Instead of just like improving the newborns, we got infants, which I think is such a step up. And I feel like the louder we are about things in a respectful way, just like voicing what we want, they tend to happen. More skin tones, we got that. Eyelashes, I can't even count how many things we've gotten now to the game that people have been asking for years. There's still some things missing that have been asked for forever, and I'm sure they'll come, like spiral staircases, zodiac signs, things like that. I can see it happening, especially just in the direction they've been going, even though the Sims team tends to still give us things we don't want, you know, like the events and other things here and there, or sometimes they drop a pack on us that nobody asked for, at least for the most part, or a pack that just feels so empty. Life and Death was definitely an improvement though, but you know, they have their flops, they have things that we're just like, why? But as far as, you know, improving the base game over the last few years, it's definitely gotten better and better. And we've been seeing more and more things that we've been wanting, even pronouns. That was amazing. So I definitely have higher hopes for preteens, not in the way where I'm going to be like so mad and disappointed if they don't happen, but more so just thinking of the way the Sims team has been going about things to try to have the core game include things that should be there. And even though we usually don't even have preteens when it comes to The Sims 2 didn't have them, The Sims 3, The Sims 4 is going in a little bit of a different direction, you know, like we got infants, right? And so I feel like it's just a lot more possible with the fact that they're deciding to have The Sims 4 run for so long. Usually we have 5 years in between each Sims game, and now they're going 10 years and beyond. So there could be like another 5 years if they really want to. I don't know. They haven't said how long they want The Sims 4 to run for. All they have said though is there's more content. We did get some surveys recently that had like a bunch of different pack ideas. So I'm sure they're going to work on a bunch of those depending on what was voted the highest. They just launched creator kits. They're just like keeping it coming, you know? So I can see this game still going for even up to 5 years. Maybe only like 2 or 3, but I don't know. Even in 2 or 3 years though, there'll be a lot of content that gets released. And I've said this time and time again, but they did hire the mod creator who made the preteen mod. She now officially works at EA. So I feel like that is, ever since then, I'm just like, oh my goodness, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. I just feel like it has to happen. And then the preteen mod got left with another mod creator. So it is still out there if you so badly want preteens in your game. Like me, there is a preteen mod, which I actually need to download again. I haven't got on that since the last big update. I need to get that back in my game for sure because it makes such a difference. So I want you guys to comment down below reasons why you want preteens and if you think they're going to come in 2025. I also want to talk about a few things that I would love to see for preteens. And also, even though preteens are like a shorter life stage, I mean, so are infants, and look how much they add for us. I feel like they could put a lot of stuff in there, but I also think a big reason why preteens are important to a lot of players is just the jump from child to teenager. It seems too big, just how the jump from a newborn to a toddler seemed too big. There needs to be like an in-between stage there, and I feel like it's going to make the life stages just feel more complete. I don't really think we need anything else other than preteens. If they really wanted to, they could go all out and put another one somewhere in there, but I just don't think it's necessary. The only other thing I can even think of is like a preschool age or like kindergarten. Yeah, not preschool. I feel like the toddlers kind of look like preschoolers, even though we don't have preschool for them. But yeah, kindergarten type of age I feel like is missing there, but I don't think the jump is that drastic where it needs to happen. But some people might disagree, although I will say in a perfect world, I would want like a kindergarten and a preteen age. But I'm not gonna be asking for the kindergarten age just because I just don't think it's necessary as much as preteens are and as much as infants were. So yeah, I feel like the only thing that would really be added there is the whole kindergarten, and like they wouldn't really be much different from the toddlers because the toddlers are supposed to be a little older. So yeah, and even though preteen is also a small stage, you know, it's only ages like 10 to 12. I feel like the teenagers in The Sims 4 seem a little bit of an older teenager, like 16-ish. So that's where the big gap happens. And then kids seem like kind of like the middle age. Maybe like between, I would say like 7 or 8, I feel like is what the kids appear to be in The Sims 4. So there's a lot of changes that happen from there to a preteen to a teenager. And although the activities might not be that different, I just think having that would feel a lot more realistic, and they could have a little bit of puberty start in that age group, but not too much, just because now with the teenagers, they do go through puberty. So just to kind of divide the two, they could have it be more subtle as preteens. Some preteens don't even go through puberty yet though, so it could be a like maybe type of thing. Your preteen has a chance to start going through puberty maybe. I think that could be fun. And then of course middle school, definitely. With the preteen mod, there's middle school, so I think that would be really, really cool. And then I think another huge feature they could add in is kind of like preteen boyfriend and girlfriend type thing. That's also in the preteen mod done in a really appropriate way. Kind of like, you know, you're starting to like someone at school, you have a crush, you know, like actually having like a crush moodlet would be really cute. Being able to go on a little date, but it's more like, I guess, a play date, but like a little more mature than that, if that makes sense. Where the parents are attending it as well to kind of watch the kids. I think that would be cool. Also included with the preteen mod. I literally feel like just everything with the preteen mod put into the game officially would make for the perfect preteens. Maybe like a little more in-depth stuff, but overall, I feel like the preteens with that mod is so good. I think also little cute interactions, like maybe experimenting with makeup in the mirror. Maybe, you know, they have some different moodlets, like they're going through like a confused phase, you know, starting to apply deodorant, lotion, all that stuff. Of course, a height difference would be a huge thing. Teenagers are the same height as adults, so I feel like they gotta make the preteen shorter. That's like a big thing for me with the preteen mod. It gives such a better effect and actually makes them look younger. Their facial features do look younger too. I feel like that would be really nice. Shorter, looked a little younger, just so they don't just end up looking like the teenagers. I also think their interests should be a little bit different from the teenagers, but maybe not so much. Maybe they introduce some new items that preteens will gravitate towards more than the teenagers will. I'm trying to think of different things, but even like a little Game Boy or something. Like the old school Game Boys, I feel like that would be fun if preteens were like carrying those around, whereas you see the teenagers carrying their phones around a lot. I think that could be a lot more fun and like engaging. Kind of like just the way they act is a little bit different, because now I feel like the teenagers, you can spot them easily. Ever since high school years, at least I can. I very rarely mess up a young adult and a teenager. Every now and then, sometimes, because they're the same height and everything and they look so similar, but there is some more differences now where you can tell them apart more. So I think they should like further that with the preteens. Different things they pull out of their pocket, you know. Maybe they don't really like to play with dolls anymore, but they're still into doing like hopscotch and stuff like that, you know. Maybe if you have them try to play with certain toys, they get a mood that like they're not feeling it anymore. This is boring. I'm too old for this. Things like that. Some people say, you know, in real life, preteens and teenagers really aren't that different. I think it depends. For me, there was like a huge difference. But I also started acting like a teenager when I was still a preteen. But still, there was a huge difference in like my interests and just like figuring myself out and all that. And some people also say there's not much difference from a child to a preteen, so what's the point? And again, for me personally and all my friends around me, there was like a massive switch. But I know not everyone's the same, but I even looked entirely different. But it also depends when you go through puberty and everything like that. That's why I say it would be cool if they had a chance for your preteen to go through puberty and then other preteens don't, and it just kind of is random. Maybe also there's some more things that happen at school, like maybe drama starts happening, stuff like that, rumors being spread, like different pop-ups that come up more that kind of didn't happen much to your kid when they were a child in school, stuff like that. But you guys, if you have more ideas, comment them down below. I also think they could do a lot of different clothing that would be like the in-between. Not so kiddish anymore, but not as mature as a teenager. I feel like preteen clothes, I just think of that era of my life and I'm like, yeah, there was like a lot of pieces that I refused to wear after when I was like 14, but I loved those things when I was like 11, 12. I want to know your guys' ideas. Do you think 2025 will be the year for preteens? Also cars, oh my god. I don't think I'll do a video about that because I've talked about it before. And yeah, I've talked about preteens before, but it just like kind of re-sparked the whole thought of it because of your guys' comments, and it seems like preteens are being more suggested than cars. At least from what I've seen, which is surprising to me, but I also think it depends on the style of player and all that. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed this discussion video. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!